So today I'm here with a review for you guys, and I'm really excited about this one because it is perfect for the beginning of the year. So one of my Instagram friends has actually developed a project journal. So if you are around Instagram, you might have heard of Minimal Plan, and if you have, you've heard of her ProJo. So she actually sent me one because I was part of the team that helped beta test it, which I will show you guys into the ProJo that I started as part of the beta test, just to show you how I actually have kind of set it up. But this one is actually completely blank, so I thought I would take you through what is actually in it in case you haven't seen it. So in the envelope that she sent me, she actually sent me this really pretty little thank you card, and she included a little note on the back, which was super sweet. And then she also included, she uses a B6 planner for her bullet journal, and she makes them, which they're super gorgeous. And so she's actually, as part of her shop, she's been making these B6 planners as well. You can see this is her tag on Instagram. It's also the name of her website. And so she actually included one, and it is dot grid and numbered, which is super exciting. I don't think it comes with all of the ProJos, but I just had to show you guys because it is super cute. This is the ProJo. So when you get it, it actually looks exactly like this. So you have this little cardboard sleeve over it, and it just tells you that it's ProJo, the project journal. It is a 3-month undated project planner, and it has a clear cover, the P book, which is the project planning book, the N book, which is the notes and list book, and a quick start guide, as well as access to online resources. So you also have information down here where you have her website if you want to check it out. So it's www.minimal-plan.com. Then on the back, you have a little bit more information on how the system is actually organized. So in the first part, the P book, you see you have these set up spreads, and it helps you to manage your goals and projects. It features a goal setting and projects planning spreads, 3 monthly layouts and reflection pages, 15 weekly layouts, and 10 extra square note pages. And then the N book is basically just a grid notebook, but it also has an index. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys inside both of these so you have an idea of what it all looks like. So it does come with this plastic cover. It's got on the inside, let's take a look. So first you have ProJo, the P book, so you have numbers, so if you have multiple ones of these, you can actually archive them and then put any other information if you want to put the dates and stuff. And then the second one is labeled the N book, and you have the same thing where you can number and then do archive dates as well. And then on the inside, so the inside you have this ProJo quick start guide. So shape a vision, outline your path, and make it happen. And you basically can just open it up. So it explains how the planner is set up, how it will help you to start planning. And then, on the back it has the same information about the P book and the N book, and then information about the free resources online. And on the inside, it actually walks you through sort of if you're stuck, how can you set up your goals? So you have the vision board, goals roadmap, projects timeline, monthly plan, weekly plan, and then assessing your progress. So it gives you a lot of in-depth help. And I haven't actually checked out the online resource library yet, but knowing Claire, it is awesome. So I definitely will be checking that out at some point soon. So you have this as part of your ProJo. Then, oh my gosh. So it's a nice tight fit, which is good because your books won't fall out. So on the front page, you have the P book. This journal is precious. It belongs to. If you find this notebook, please contact. And then you have your table of contents, so page and topic. And it's only 3 months, so it's only about a page and a half worth of indexing, which should be sufficient. So here you have your vision board, which you can date. And don't worry, I'm going to show you guys how I actually set up mine so you can have an idea of one way to set it up. And then you can also check out Claire's YouTube. She has also her setup for 2019, so you can see how she actually fills it out using the ProJo. So don't worry. So vision board, your goals roadmap. So you pick top 5 goals for this quarter, your purpose, first steps, and then what you want to have accomplished in 3 months, 6 months, and a year. You have a projects timeline. So up here you list the weeks, and then on the side you list the different projects, and you can put down like how long each thing is going to take. So one of the things that you can do is you can set this up kind of like a, you know, the Gantt thing where you basically say like, okay, I'm going to start this in week 1, it's going to take me till week 4, but the second piece needs to start in week 3, and so you can draw like different lines out. This is one that I am still struggling with, so you'll see in mine it's not super filled out, but this, if your brain works this way, this will be super handy for you. Then you have your monthly. So you have undated, so whenever during the year you start this, you can just fill in the month here, and you have a monthly log, so very similar to the bullet journal where you can put in different things, and in the quick start guide she has some examples for you on things you can put in there. And then the 3 big projects that you want to do for the month, your main goal, so like what is your big project, and then what do you actually want to do, and then just like a little note section over here. You have another bigger note section on the back, and then at the end of the month you have your monthly reflection. So you can write down the highlights of your month, you can talk about your different projects, so the 3 things. You have the things that you have already done, what you want to do next, and your progress on the particular project, so you can label your project in here. So it's a good way of kind of helping you pre-plan and then also helping you to review once you've actually completed the month to see how things are actually going. So you have the 3 monthly pages all up front, so the 2 full spreads for the monthly. And then once you finish with the monthly, you go directly into weeklies. So for each week, you then have, so your 3 main projects for the month, you would then fill in here with the specific steps for that week, as well as mini highlights, so the highlights for that particular week. You have a week overview, so you can actually do time blocking, for example, however you want to do it. So you can, you know, fill in your days of the week here, fill in your times here. When I set up mine, I believe I could get from 6 a.m. to like 11 p.m. So it does get like the majority of your day in there. And then you have a little note section for other things that come up. So these, you have 15 weekly pages. So that just kind of flips all the way through. They all look the same. So I'm just going to flip quickly. Whoops, up to, so last weekly. And you've got your note section. So these are just grid note pages. There you go. And all of the pages are numbered so that you can index them up front if you want to. And at the end of the quarter, you have a reflection. So checking in, how do you feel about the last 3 months, highlights, and then assess your progress. So what are your 3 achievements? What are 3 things to improve? And what are 3 actions to take? So if you were to, for example, continue using the system, at this point you would use this to help jump off and set up your next ProJo for the next quarter. So that is the P book. And then the N book is same thing. You have an index, and then it just jumps straight into grid paper. Or not grid paper, dot grid paper. Sorry about that. The pages are numbered so that you can go ahead and index those if you need to. So for example, if you have specific project planning pages, you can then link them back so you can easily flip to them. So that is the overview of the actual ProJo system. So that's just the actual thing. Now, to show you how you can actually use it, I'm gonna let you look in my beta testing book. So I actually did have a plastic cover on here. However, I am working on migrating all of my information into either my bullet journal and or my new ProJo as I'm kind of dealing with my goal setting. I do want to use the new ProJo. I just have been, since I was away at the end of the year, I haven't quite gotten everything set up, but I'll give you a look in here. So I actually had more tabs on here and I've since taken them off. I've only left the ones that I'm still working on. So things that I've already dealt with that information, I've taken the tabs off. But let's take a look in the P book. So keep in mind, this is a beta copy. I have like pages coming out, which is one of the main reasons why I have decided to move out of this one and into a new one, just because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose pages. So I have my table of contents here. So you'll see I actually did the same hack that I do in my bullet journal, where I just kind of ignore the page and topic thing and I just start with my topic first and my pages second. That's just the way that I like to do mine. So I actually have vision board, roadmap, timeline, and then I have each of the 3 months with the monthly setup and then the reflection page, and then I have the weeklies, which I have since stopped filling out because things got a little bit busy. So then I have my vision board, which this is my first take and it is a mess, But it did help me kind of identify a couple of things. So you'll see I kind of did me in the center. I think what I'm gonna do, based on seeing Claire's video on how she set up hers for 2019, I'm actually going to split it into two. So what she did is she had 2019 and then Q1, and I think that's a really good way of splitting it up, because trying to fit it all in this one big thing, it just got like really squished in parts and all of that. Anyway, but this is my first one. In the quick start guide, she actually had suggestions for how you can organize it. So I used her suggestions, which were career, finances, hobbies, personal growth, living environment, relationships, family and friends, and health. And then I just filled in the different things. So you'll notice that a couple of my things actually have little stars. Those were the ones I decided that I wanted to focus on. And again, going ahead, I will look at it a little bit differently, because I am going to really try and split my goals into the different quarters of the year. Whereas this, I was like, what are the big things I really want to do? Sort of ignoring whether I would actually have time during this quarter to do them or not. So that was something I definitely learned from doing this. Then I have my goals roadmap. So this looks a little bit different because this was a sort of prototype, so it looks a little different than the final one, but you have the same basic setup. So you have what your goal is, and then purpose, first step, 3 months, 6 months, and a year. So basically, I just filled out all of these for my different things. And again, I will change how I do this, because these were just general, really big goals, not necessarily things I was going to be able to work on during the quarter of the year that I was doing this. Then I have my project's timeline. You will notice I did not get very far. This is one I need to work on to figure out the best way to make this actually make sense for me, essentially. So I started putting in 2 things and it sort of worked, but like not exactly. So moving on. These were ones that I actually crossed off as I was migrating out of Pages. This is something, if I am going to migrate and I'm not planning on saving this book as a record, just because I don't really need it, I will sometimes cross off the pages. But let's take a look. So you'll see I started doing this in September, and then the school year got really crazy. So I started filling out various things, but I never did the monthly reflection. One of the things I have been doing, however, are the weeklies, and you'll see that I have set them up as like time blocking. So we're gonna flip straight ahead. Oops, here we go. So this is this week, and you'll see this is where it starts coming apart. Unfortunately, since this is falling apart, I'm not going to hold on to this, but because I also have like a new nice one, so I have just been a little bit messier with it. So I have 3 of my goals that I want to work on, and then I have various time blocking. I will say that this time blocking has not quite worked out, just because I'm dealing with jet lag, but it was kind of a way to help me plan, and I am working on doing these things. I've just kind of done them in a different order. So you'll notice that I have the date and then the letter for the day. So the 31st is Monday, 1st is Tuesday, etc. And then I have from 6 until 23, so 11 p.m. on both of these pages. That's basically just, I don't tend to get up any earlier than 6, and I try and go to bed by 10, so this fits my day really well, but you could obviously adjust that. And then I had a couple of other random things that I wanted to work on that I threw up over here. Also, I had one that I was coming back on the 30th, so I wanted to have this day, but I didn't need like the whole previous week because I was just on vacation. So I just filled out that one day and kind of did the big things that I was working on. So this is sort of a start at looking how to fill this out. So this, honestly, because of the time of year that I was doing this, I started filling out so that I could actually give feedback to Claire, but I didn't use this as much as I would like to do it. One of the things that I do want to do, and you guys have heard me talking about the different things I want to do for my goals this year, is I would like to use this as part of tracking my quarterly goals. So that's just kind of a couple of the spreads so you can see how they were filled out, and then I'll give you a quick look into the end book so you can see I did use my index on here. And then I have big projects. So these are actually all things that I have since moved to other pages. I'm gonna deal with this a different way. And then I have these. So this one hasn't been crossed off, means I actually wanna deal with this. And I even have, usually I keep this little piece of paper in here. This was from a different, whoops, nope, this one. So this is from a different notebook. So this is pages, these are pages I have to deal with. These are ones that I have since moved in or dealt with in some way, shape, or form. This was pre-planning for my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for my current bullet journal. So this I've actually since transferred, which is why those are crossed off. And then just various other projects, things that I have since made notes in other places so that I can figure out where they're going. YouTube calendar for 2019, quarterly goals, starting to brainstorm some of that stuff. So this is really just kind of a dumping ground for any sort of thoughts and things that I want to do messily, and that often I will redo more neatly in my bullet journal so that I have access to them very readily. So I'm still trying to figure out in terms of how I can best make this work with my bullet journal. So because I know that I function really from my bullet journal, I'm thinking that this might be sort of a weekly pre-planning, like sit down and figure out what I really want to do, but I need to figure out a way so that it's not too redundant, but that I can actually make use of the spreads in here, because I really like the way that they're set up to really guide you towards your goals. So I'm still figuring this out. I think that depending on how you plan, for a lot of you, this might be a really, really great resource. For some of you, you might already have ways that you plan your projects or that you map out your goals, and so this might not be necessary for you. But for those of you who are interested and who maybe are struggling to figure out how to break down your goals in a way that's more manageable for you, this might be a good option. So since this might be a good option for some of you guys, I thought I would go ahead and just show you so you know another resource that's out there. So since this was a project that I was kind of peripherally involved with, and since I actually was able to get my hands on a full copy of the ProJo, I thought I would share it with you guys so that if some of you are looking for ways to organize your projects and your goals for 2019, you know one other resource that is out there. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you are having a great start to the year, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.